So, folks, there are these people called trans. That can't be right. Genders? I don't know. Never heard of them before. But apparently, a lot of people are making a hullabaloo about transgender folks. Okay, and transgeners. Yeah, exactly. Best genists. Um, well, the U.S. Forestry Service is apparently just blanket removing mentions of transgender people from all of their websites and monument data, including the fucking Stonewall monument. The monument to Stonewall is being relabeled as LGB, an LGB monument. It's insane. They literally changed like bios of different transgender like activists in the LGBTQ movement of the 60s to remove mention of the fact that they were transgender. It's fucking crazy what they're doing. But one thing I will let you know, okay, is that if I see any of you using that LGB shit in my chat or out in the world, you capitulate like that, I'm picking up the bricks, okay? Um, absolute insanity. However, in the news of sane people, this is not supported by the vast majority of people. Also, everyone in the whole country, in the world, knows that it's LGBT. No one is like ambiguous on that. So whenever anyone sees the LGB, they're just like, that's fucking weird. That's fucking weird. And not only that, but we are winning. Okay? Federal judge pauses President Trump's order restricting gender affirming care for trans youth. That is effective today. So that is cool as hell. And number 2, folks, hospitals that have suspended their trans care programs are beginning to resume. The Trump administration's under 19 trans care ban has been blocked in federal court. Via a bench temporary restraining order, the administration cannot withhold funds from hospitals providing trans youth care. And in response, by the way, even before this was blocked, people were organizing mass protests outside of hospitals. Okay? Here is a bunch of pictures from different protests. And folks, if you do go to protest, please take pictures and video because a lot of mainstream media isn't going to cover these unless people take pictures and make video and put them online. A lot of reporters just either aren't getting the funding to cover this or being like told not to cover it at all. So the only way this winds up getting covered is when you guys show up, take pictures, take video, always record. We need as much footage and video and pictures as possible, okay? But like pretty sizable protests have been taking place. You know, do not comply. Healthcare is a human right. Do your job. First, they came for the trans. A lot of brave people standing up right now. And that is cool as hell. A lot of people showing up to protect trans youth. Okay? And now, and even before this judge paused the executive order, hospitals were resuming treating trans youth as a result of these protests. Public pressure is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful tool we have at our disposal. So even if we run into roadblocks on literally every single issue, legislatively, legally, etc., protesting, turning out en masse, putting pressure on these elected bureaucrats, these elected fucks who want to make our lives a living hell, it works. It works. It worked during the civil rights era, it'll work now. Isn't the administration just ignoring court orders now with no consequence? Some of them, which is interesting. However, yesterday and today, there have been some backing down of the administration. It's not a complete back down. We're still in the midst of a constitutional crisis. But, for example, the NIH put out a memo and said, yep, we were doing something illegal. You all need to unfreeze funding to your NIH programs. So there is some acknowledgement and some movement to comply with the courts. But we'll have to see as it plays out over time. It's too early to say that like we're out of the woods on this, especially with the treasury payment systems. But at least on trans issues, things are working. Yeah, not just public pressure to Congress, publicly pressure your local Dem government to secure trans rights into the code. If you're in a Dem state, pressure them to pass trans rights. Excellent point. And remember, folks, when you call your senators, when you call your House reps, make sure you ask and demand of them that they withhold quorum and that they deny unanimous consent. Okay? Make sure those two things are said in your calls because we need them to do everything in their power to delay this rolling onslaught of bad shit. Okay? UIC in Chicago sent out their press release reversing their decision during the middle of the protest. Power to the people. Hell yeah, Debbie. Let's go. We are not powerless. I know it's sometimes hard to feel like we have power.